Hi everyone, my name's Kristen. I also go by Ms.Filmingo and welcome to today's video. So today we have an exclusive interview with husband and wife filmmaking team, Bryden Lando, who is the director of Aloha Also Means Goodbye, and actress and producer of the film, Stephanie Lynn. Now before we jump into the interview, let me give you all a quick little rundown of the film. An overworked, stressed out mother, Alice, played by Stephanie Lynn, with a marriage on the rocks, journeys to Maui, Hawaii for a business trip, only to run into her free-spirited ex, Taylor, played by Evan Gamble. It begins a whirlwind adventure and soul-searching journey for the two former lovers. Now that you all know a little bit about the film, let's head on over to my interview with Bryden and Stephanie. So thank you both for taking the time out of your busy schedule and congratulations on the film. Why did you both want to tell the story since you both worked on this film together?
So for Aloha Also Means Goodbye, we really wanted to tell a story that we could do as an independent film together. So we had a bunch of pieces that we were kind of putting together like a puzzle to make this story. But we definitely knew that we wanted to make a relatable love story. And we thought, the idea of getting a second chance with the one that got away is something that I think most people can probably relate to on some level. So
Yeah.
that was a big piece of it. You want to talk a little bit about it too?
Yeah, and then we knew the from our budgetary aspect, we had to keep a small cast and crew, so we wanted it to be a very intimate, self-contained story. But myself, having grown up in Hawaii, and well, number one, I wanted to. Part of the story I wanted to tell was a love letter to the place I grew up that raised me, just because it was so special. It's such a beautiful place. It's such a unique place. And we could also, I knew we could get a lot of production value for the film, tell a really self-contained, intimate story. But in a setting that adds so much production value. So Hawaii was a very big character in the film.
That's incredible to hear you grew up in Hawaii. I'm sure you got to incorporate a lot of the Hawaiian culture. Can you discuss a little bit about that?
Yeah, definitely. One of the things I loved in high school was when friends would come over and I from the mainland, and I could show them sort of the locals' perspective of Hawaii, so show people, tour them around the island to places that you don't usually see on the typical tourist map, and it's such a different and unique perspective of the island that you don't normally get. And I wanted to showcase a little bit of that through the story and through the film. So hopefully a bit of that came through.
It does come through. I definitely got to see it, and it was very unique how you told it. And when you were writing this film, because you co-wrote the film together, did you oftentimes battle it out together, or be like, no, this scene shouldn't be added, no, we should incorporate more? Can you discuss writing as a couple?
It was actually a very smooth and peaceful process, but this is the first film that we had written together. We both had written things on our own. And so we were a little nervous going into it because you never know if you're gonna have to battle things out or if your writing is gonna, blend seamlessly. And so we split up scenes. We started out that way and we each wrote different parts of it and then we brought it together and we read through what we'd done and we were actually really surprised that it was pretty cohesive and we were pretty in line with a lot of what we had written and I loved what he brought to the table and hopefully liked what I brought to the table as well. And so it was actually a really fun process and we would do our writing sessions together and we worked at Earth Cafe a lot in Los
Oh,
Angeles.
that's
So we would,
awesome.
yeah, we made it into a fun experience together. And we were getting married during the filming of this actually. So
Oh, wow.
just this whole process was a really cool part of that because learning to do all these things together and learning to collaborate in ways making a film are it's similar to a marriage, I think.
Yeah.
So
So, Stephanie, I also want to comment on your scene partner with Evan Gable. I thought you two had really great chemistry. What was it like working together?
oh, thank you. Um, It's so great working with Evan. Evan and I actually used to play music together for a long time.
Oh, no way.
A million years ago, we had a band that we called the Brown Leather Jackets, which did not last very long. But we did play music together for a long time. We even toured together. So we've been good friends, and we met in acting class when we were young, first in Hollywood, and so we've worked together a lot over the years. And I think probably that's where the natural chemistry comes in because we do have this great friendship. Um, so I always love working with Ev. And Bryden and I, when we wrote the film, we actually thought of him to play the character pretty early on. And so we called him and said, we would really love for you to do this. We hope you can. And we ended up having to change our shooting schedule because he booked a show. So we had to push back. But it was worth it. And it was so great having him. It was like working with a good friend, you know?
Definitely. So, going off with that, did you have a favorite scene that you filmed with Evan? And Brayden, did you have a favorite scene that you got to direct? Because you wore many different hats for this film. You were the cinematographer, the editor, everything I could tell from the press notes. So, can you discuss both of your favorite scenes that you got to work on?
I
You want to
mean,
go first?
there were a lot. I particularly loved one that stands out is the Iao Valley scene.
Yes.
Shooting sort of the journey up into the Iao Valley. That was really special because it's such a special and magical place to me, and to share that with them and then ultimately share it with the audience. Yeah, that's one that stands out for me.
I think my favorite scene that we did was the sneaking into the pools
That
at
was like
night.
fun.
And we were really actually running to escape security guards.
Oh, really?
Um,
Like seriously?
yes. So that was something that Bryden used to do growing up. And he wrote that into the film. And I always have a little bit of a dangerous side. I'm a little rebel and I like to break the rules. So I had fun doing that. But Evan was really nervous that we were going to
Oh.
get in trouble.
At least you didn't get caught. At least you didn't get caught. That's the good thing.
Yeah,
But you got to show this film at the Maui Film Festival, correct?
we did. Yes.
Yeah. So take me back to that time when you premiered it in front of an audience. What was that experience like?
Well, to be honest, it was a little bit of it was a different time because it was still during the lockdowns. So we didn't actually get to be in person. It was
Oh
more
no.
digital. So
Yeah.
the Maui Film Festival was still doing part digital and part in person, but very minimal in person screenings at that time. But it was still such an honor, and that was such a huge goal of ours to premiere at the Maui Film Festival. Everyone from the festival was so amazing, and we were super, super excited. But it was, the lockdown times were hard for a lot of filmmakers, and people had to adapt. So it kind of hit us in the middle of our production. So
All right. So I have two more questions before we have to wrap up, but I do want to ask you first, what did you both learn throughout making this entire film?
I wouldn't even know where to begin because there is just a giant list of technical aspects that were so helpful that I will carry on through my career. I mean, I PA'd and did a million different jobs on set starting when I was 20 years old, but actually making a film and and wearing most of the hats was such a different experience. So. Um, I think a lot of different aspects in the director's chair as well, just learning how to direct the actors and working with actors. There's just a lot of notes I'll take with me. That it was such a great experience, but there's a lot of things I would do differently as well, and that's just part of the journey. So that I was lucky enough to have talent that was amazing and really self-motivating and professional. So that was so helpful having these guys to work with.
What
thank
about
you
you?
for
Yeah, what
that.
about you, Stephanie?
Well, yeah, similarly, I learned just an endless list of things from making Aloha Also Means Goodbye, because as you saw from the notes, we all wore so many hats. And so I got to learn how to be a music supervisor. I didn't know how to do that before. So yeah, just all of these technical things. But then just on kind of a broader, more general note, I would say I really learned to just go for it with making stories and making films and creating, because I think we waited on a lot of things out of fear of not knowing what we were doing. And of course, that's a learning process for anyone when you're getting started with new things. But I would just in the future do less waiting, less letting fear hold me back, and just keep taking actions, keep doing it, keep putting it out there, keep making it, because we learned what we can accomplish when we just do it.
Yeah, I think one of the best motivational quotes I've ever heard that helped us do this film was from Mark Duplass, who said, "The cavalry isn't coming," and that is so
Yeah.
true. So that was it. It's such an excuse, I think, for filmmakers to, wait to be discovered or wait till you have the right finances or whatever. But it's never going to happen perfectly. So just
Yeah.
go and make your film. That's the best. That was the best takeaway for us, and that's the best piece of advice I could give.
That's
Yeah.
honestly the best piece of advice. I love it when filmmakers just go, F it, we're just gonna
Yep.
do it. Oh, do you want to return to Hawaii and or Maui to film more in the future or make another film that's featured in Hawaii?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a few different stories in mind that we'd love to visit. I'm not sure if it would be the same characters, but I can think of a few that we'd want to do in the future for sure.
Yeah, any excuse to go to Maui.
Yeah, why not? And then I just wanted to comment really quickly. I thought your tribute to Ryan O'Neal was incredible. I saw it at the very end of the credits and I was like, oh, Ryan O'Neal was involved. And then I saw on Instagram that you wrote a beautiful tribute and I thought that was really sweet. And it's cool that he got to be a part of the experience in some way.
Oh,
So,
yeah, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Ryan is very special to me. I worked as a personal assistant for him when I was very first in Hollywood, and then he was always a mentor and a friend. He was really supportive of this film, and he was so excited for Bryden to have his first directorial showpiece to put out into the world. And I'm so glad he got to be part of it and see the film and see it come out and all of that. And yeah, well, he at least got to see it premiere at the Maui Film Festival before
oh,
he passed. So.
well, at least he got to see it. And congratulations to both of you. I hope you do something incredible next. And I know you're going to do something incredible. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. We
And
really appreciate
oh,
you.
I'm supposed to also say that Aloha Also Means Goodbye is out everywhere, and you can see it streaming on Amazon, Google Play, all the usual places. And we are easy to find on Instagram and Facebook. Just Aloha Also Means Goodbye.
That's going to wrap up my interview. And like what Stephanie said, go give Aloha Also Means Goodbye a watch. Be sure to check it out on Prime Video, Vimeo On Demand, Google Play, and much more. And don't forget to follow the film on social media. On a final note, I just want to say this is my final filmmaker interview for 2024, and I cannot wait to bring you all more fun videos like this in 2025. Make sure to like, comment, and share this video, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you all in 2025. Bye.